What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. Quick recap here of this Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier part 3. I'm going to settle this once and for all. How did Conor actually break his leg? When did he break his leg, right? Because you see him step back and his leg just twisted, like broke, and he fell back, right? How did he break his leg? I'm going to explain that to you. I've made a couple videos on shin breakage from way back, like 7-8 years ago, explaining how Anderson Silva broke his leg and how not to kick so you can avoid breaking your shin. It doesn't matter where you hit now. You could hit the elbow with your shin, you could hit the knee, you can also hit the hip. You can hit the hip with your leg and you can break it. It just all depends on the way how you throw that kick. You know, how you rotate the hip over. You know, how you control the lower part of your leg, which is the instep. Okay, remember, you have the lower part of your ankle. If that flops around and you're kicking and you're not controlling that lower part of your ankle, you will break your ankle. So he broke his leg at the lower part close to the ankle, which is basically a shin break, right? He stepped back and then that's when it collapsed on him because all the tendons around it already got damaged, so there's no support. So broke his leg. I'm going to show you exactly. I'm going to show you where it exactly happened. And this is a fact, all right? Yes, he was throwing a bunch of kicks in the entire fight, but he was moving around after that. And he was moving around fine until he got up off the ground. Once he got up off the ground and he threw one particular kick, that is where he broke his leg, all right? And then he stepped back, of course, and then the leg collapsed on him, okay? So I'm going to run this video for you in fast motion just to show you, and I'm going to slow it down for you and show you exactly where he broke his leg, okay? You get love and positivity back. You behave like an asshole, treat people like crap, you come back to bite you in the ass. Okay? And that's energy. That's that's karma for you, man. Alright, so he's getting up here. Also, he was holding on to the glove and doing all these things. I guess he was holding on the inside of the glove. And there. I mean, enough respect to Dustin Poirier. I mean, I have no hate for nobody. Dustin Poirier is a good guy, man. That guy, you know, it's a sport. At the end of the day, it's a dangerous sport. It's a combat sport, but he showed the mentality of a martial artist, right? Respect, honor. Conor McGregor doesn't show that. Conor McGregor is trying to be Conor McGregor all over again, from the Conor McGregor from when he fought Jose Aldo. That trying to get into your mindset. You can see even at the press conference, he's like throwing kicks again. He's acting up with his antics. He's trying to be that Conor McGregor. He's like faking it. He's like acting, right? Maybe when the cameras are not on him, he doesn't behave that way. And you can see from his other fights, when he fought him the second time, when he fought Dustin Poirier the second time, he didn't even behave like that. He was more respectful. Now we come into the third fight like being like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Talking a lot of crap, talking a lot of shit, running his mouth, kicking at the man, and carrying on and just with these antics like he usually does. And it backfired in his face because at the end of the day, man, is respect. No matter what you're doing, you show respect, you show love, man. Even if you're beating up each other, I guess, in a cage. You still show respect. He's trying to be that Conor McGregor like he usually was back in the days. But you can't be something that you're not. You're faking it. He's acting, right? And this is the outcome. So he's hold on to the glove. Now watch. I'm going to show you something now exactly where that leg kick, where he actually broke his leg on that kick, right? So he got up here, right? Slow it down for you. Okay, this is where it happened. There's a specific kick that he threw when the camera angle switched. Pay attention here now. It's a kick to the hip he threw. If you're looking how he threw that kick, the hip wasn't turned over. Here's a kick right here. Meaning that the standing leg that he was standing on, like I always mention, if you watch my videos, if you go back to the Wayne Gaethje channel and watch my videos on that one, you can see his standing leg didn't rotate over. So he's throwing a kick kind of at a straight angle, right? So the hips didn't turn over. This is where he broke his leg, right here. That's where the leg broke. Run that back there. He broke the leg there. If you look at the way how he kick, His hip, it's kind of like he's throwing a front kick, but it's kicking at an angle. Now you probably say, but that is like Dustin Poirier's butt, like his hip. Yeah, but there's a bone there that's pretty hard too. And if you look at his instep and his ankle, he has no control over that. So he didn't kind of gave that ankle a little bit of support. Can like straighten out the ankle. You know what I'm saying? Kind of give it like a more of an extension. He's just kicking with a loose ankle. And the way how he's kicking, he's throwing it like he's throwing kind of like a front kick, but there's no turn. The hip didn't turn over. So if you look at that, right there where he hit, if you look at the foot there, that is where it broke. All right. So boom, broke right there. Bam. That's where actually the foot broke. But what happened now? Maybe it didn't break fully. But you know, it didn't break fully. But what happened is that all the tendons, everything, all the support in that was already messed up. So you just needed to step back, and then it would have collapsed. See, boom. So you can tell how the leg is kind of looped around, how the ankle wrapped around his butt. So he's kind of kicking like with the shin, obviously, and then it's kind of like a lazy kick. This kick wasn't emphasized properly. Didn't roll the hip over, right? Like I always talk about. Never emphasize a kick with proper hip rotation over, and it's kicking kind of lazy. So see that again. See the hips not rotated over. That standing leg, the ankle is supposed to twist around a little bit, or even a lot, so your hip can rotate over. So you're kind of angling your body at a certain angle. I can make a video on this and show you guys with me kicking, all right, which I've made a couple times already. So you can see here, boom, land, and you're gonna see where the leg wraps around his buttocks, all right, right there. That's where the foot kind of maybe fractured a little bit, which is broken, but not fully. It's not fully like how, you know, when you hit the knee or the shin, you just go pop and it pops. Maybe it was a slight breakage until he stepped back. All right. And you can see here, there's something that seems to look at here. There's slight of a kind of a limp on the way going back. Look, a slight of a limp. Broke right there. Boom. Boom, that's where it broke. You can see that it's dangling a little bit. Boom, you see? Look, watch. Look when the leg pulls back. See? Look when the leg goes back. See that? That's a broken legs, ladies and gentlemen. That's a broken leg right there. Take a look at the leg going back. I know it's kind of blurry, but you can see it's kind of like dangling. See the leg, how it's dangling? Boom. Watch. It's broken right there. Dangling. Right? Look at him step back. When he step back, he has a slight of a limp when you put that leg down. Right there. Now we threw a front kick there. I thought initially that it broke on that front kick, but I thought it hit the elbow, because you can also, as I said, you can break your foot by throwing front kicks like that too. You can throw front kicks up the middle, and the guy that slam his elbow down into the shin, that can also break your leg too. Okay, remember your leg has no support once it leaves the ground. Okay, this is where he put his leg down. So right now his leg is already semi-broken. It's not fully broken like how you would see in other fights when the guy hit the knees, like Anderson Silva or Chris Weidman, completely break all at one sudden. Like as he land the kick, that one motion, snap right in half. His leg wasn't fully completely, but it was already broken already. But it wasn't fully until he put his leg down, until he tried to push off and twist on it, and that's when it just collapsed. Okay, it collapsed because he made extra movements on it. But from slamming the hip, hitting the side of Dustin Poirier hip, that's where the leg broke. Now look at when he put his leg down now. So actually, initially I thought that he hit Dustin Poirier's elbow, and that caused the break. But when I look closely, Dustin Poirier kind of parried the kick to the side, and the kick didn't really hit the elbow at all, really. Okay, then he put the leg down. Now look at when he dropped his leg down. See that? How that leg came down kind of gingerly, kind of come down gingerly on that leg. Like he was kind of like, he didn't want to put too much pressure in it because he probably felt it. He actually felt it. So he just kind of, and you can see how he moved. He switched the stance after. And you can see when he's going to switch his stance now. Watch, touch it down. He knew. He's like, oh man. He didn't come down on his toes. He came down kind of flat, kind of gingerly. You know, like when you hurt something, you don't want to put too much pressure on it. Then he switched the leg now. And when you switch it, you can tell. You can, if you look at the foot, if you look at the left leg, you can tell that lump is right there. It's kind of swollen right there because it's starting to swell up. That is where it broke from right there. You can tell that the ankle is already swollen up. You can tell that one leg. You can tell this freaking left leg is swelling up, dude. See, look now. All it did was bam, collapsed. Bam, collapsing him. There you go. That's it. I mean, speedy recovery for the guy. Like I said, I don't come with no hate for nobody. But, you know, I wish everybody the best, regardless on how the person behave. If the person's an asshole or whatever, like I said, I show love regardless, man. I don't come with hate, but that's karma. You know, I lost a little bit of respect for Conor McGregor when he was throwing the chair and the table at the bus way back. Remember that bus attack he did? And he's going out there breaking windows and acting like an asshole. I mean... He's acting like a bully. You know what I'm saying? You can't. That's not a martial artist. Like I said, this is a sport, and this sport MMA, it's not martial arts. They have martial artists that fight in the sports, but it's not martial arts. There's a difference now. Okay, Stephen Thompson is a martial artist that fights in a combat sport. I consider Dustin Poirier a martial artist too. I have respect for Dustin Poirier. I have more respect for him now. For just the way how he handled the situation, the way how he, you know, held his composure. Even though Conor was still acting like an asshole. Even when he break his leg, he's still cursing the guy out and acting like a total jerk. So that's how he break his leg, guys. Okay? So I will make a tutorial video on this showing you exactly what he did, but I just showed it to you right now, but I can do it with me kicking the bag and show you exactly. So that leg broke initially after he hit his hip. Okay, you can tell the swelling on the leg. If you look on his right leg, you can tell the swelling. I thought it broke there, but I went back and I saw that kick he threw, and I'm like, oh, the kick he threw to the hip, and I'm like, that's where he broke his leg. That's where he broke his leg. This kick right here. So it's a lazy kick. It's a kick that's not rotated properly. And I'm going to show you some more examples of that. You can tell. As he landed here, bam, there, and he went in. Once he kicked him and the leg landed, it looped around his hip. There. That's where the foot broke. And when he retract it back, when you retract the leg back, it's dangling. But it's not fully committed broken until he trying to actually push off of the leg now, because then you remember there's tendons around that ankle, and that support the shin and the ankle. There's tendons around that, and then if you don't have that support and you friggin' stepping back and you already have a damage on that leg, the leg is gonna crumble with you. And you can, as I see here, remember I told you, as you put the leg down, you can see gingerly. You can tell he's gingerly on that leg because he hurt the leg on the hip. So he's gingerly putting it down, right there. And you switch it. And then when you're trying to push off of it, show you a little more example here. So you can see Anderson Silva legs there. You can see here. But this one is a complete, this breakage here went all the way through. So it didn't semi-half break. That went all the way through. Conor McGregor's own break half. His leg broke halfway. And Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman broke completely the same way. Like it went all the way through. Conor McGregor's own broke halfway. Alright? And then when you're trying to twist off, push off with the leg, then it just collapses on him. Okay? So you can see pretty much the same kind of form. Right? There's no rotation of the hip. Kind of like throwing a front kick, but it's hitting with the side of the shin. The side of the shin is connecting, so the hip is not turned over. So it's pretty much the same, if you want to say, kind of form, I guess. So that means the standing leg that Conor and Anderson Silva is standing on, that standing leg is not rotated over. So if the ankle is not rotated over on that standing leg, meaning that the hip won't turn over, meaning that you need to turn your body to the side so the hip can, turn over so that you won't hit with the side of that shin, right? So it's pretty much, you can see here, it's pretty much the same kind of mirror image. The only difference is that Anderson Silva slammed into the knee, and the knee is a little harder. The hip bone is pretty hard too, but as I said, if you're throwing sloppy technique with no form and you're not turning your hips over and a Mwashigeri, a roundhouse kick, and that's what you're trying to throw, and you're throwing it with your shin, and you hit with the side of your shin, man, you can hit the elbow, you can hit your wrist, you can hit your knee, you can hit the hip, and that leg will break. Remember, bad form, bad technique causes injuries. Always remember that. You're throwing improper technique always causes an injury. You can see he put his leg back, it's dangling. See, you can see right there in the air, the leg is already dangling, but it's not fully completely broke until he stepped back in a kind of way, and then it just collapsed. Even after he threw that front kick, you can tell that he put it down gingerly. You can tell he put it down with a kind of like a, slow motion, because he felt that injury in it. All right, so there you go, guys, and that's how he broke his leg. Okay. I went on the card itself. I did pretty well on the card. On the prop bet, I had Irene Aldana first round KO TKO, which that came through, of course. So that was on my prop bet on my Patreon account. Like I said, guys, sign up to my Patreon account. What I'm gonna do for the prop bets, this card was a tough card, man, and I wasn't sure about the majority of the fights, even though my confident plays came in, but I wasn't sure. So I made a prop bet for the whole 13 card, basically going the other way. And I had Aldana winning by KO TKO in the first. And I also had Burns, but I had Burns by KO TKO in the third, and it was close, but he won by decision. Okay. Give me a second here, guys. Yeah, my most confident, Dustin Poirier and Brad Tarvis came in winning. So I went 10-2 on the YouTube card, and on my Patreon account, on my face-off picks, I went 9-3, and I also hit on the prop bet. I hit Aldana for first round KO TKO. Like I said, guys, subscribe to my Patreon account, because I will be dropping plays on there. I'll be dropping weigh-ins, face-off. The weigh-ins and face-off is two separate things, because I like to see the scale, to see how the guys look, and then I will go and then do the face-off when they face off in front of each other, right? You can then see them in front of each other. You can see the body weight, you can see the mannerisms, you know what I'm saying? You can tell in the eyes, you can tell the weight too, the size of the person, and just basically you can feel the energy from them, right? So sign up to my Patreon account, guys. Also, man, more thumbs up, guys. I need those thumbs up, man. I need more subscribers. Hit me up. So I went 10-2 on this, and like Dustin Poirier, I kind of knew Dustin Poirier would win. It was close to confident that I already put down 10-2 before the fight even began. I put down 10-2, man. Alan Moldavsky fell off the card, and I guess some coveting or whatever you want to call it. But pretty well good card. Stephen Thompson, he went in there and did his thing. He got out hustled. There's nothing. It's not a bad loss, he just got hustled in the fight. Gilbert Burns went back to his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, to his takedowns, and he just out-hustled him. He picked the right time at the end of the rounds to get those takedowns and pull off the fight, and then also cage control, right? Sean O'Malley and this Chris dude, man. I mean, I have love for everybody, man, but man, some people were saying, man, why did Herb Dean stop the fight, man? He shouldn't have stopped the fight, man. Dude, that fight could have been stopped in the first round or the second round, man. That kid took too much freaking damage, dude. That kid will never be the same anymore. Like I said, guys, your health is your freaking wealth. This is a game, but it's a life and death game, right? That kid took too many freaking jabs, and he had no defense. His face was his defense. When you see a guy taking so much damage like that and was getting straight rights coming down the pocket, he was getting counter shot, he was getting counter hit consistently. That kid who took some big freaking hits, dude. When he got knocked down, they should have stopped the fight. And they wanted that fight to keep on going like that. That kid took a freaking beating. His face was destroyed, dude. Your health is your wealth, dude. Your head is not meant to get hit like that. You shouldn't get hit in the head, man. You should not get hit in the head. That kid not gonna be the same no more. No way. No way, man. No way, dude. And if he thinks that he can continue fighting like that, his life is gonna cut short. His life is cut short already. He took some life off of him, man. Some life off of him is already gone. Because, dude, he took big freaking hits to the head, man. His head was consistently rocking back and forth. His head was a speed bag. And I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing these kids, especially young guys like this, just taking damage like that. I mean, dude, he had nothing for Molly, man. I mean, he was just trying to walk him down. His game plan was to walk him down, take a bunch of damage to give damage. But then the thing is that he wasn't even giving any damage because he couldn't hit Amali, because Amali was using a lot of head movement and footwork. He was just being a zombie in there, taking a ton of beating. That fight should have been... If I was a referee, I would have stopped it in the first round. I don't blame Herb Dean for stopping that fight, man. Because after that last couple of blows, when they started to brawl in the third, right close to the end of the fight, and I saw Amali hit him with those big old shots, Herb saw the same thing. I saw. He's like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to make this kid die in here. Or die later on. Bleeding in the brain, dude. A concussion, bleeding in the brain, dude. Burst of blood vessel in the head. Scar tissue in the brain, bleeding in the brain. That's it. Once his brain starts to bleed, swelling, the brain starts to swell, he's gonna go in a coma. That's it. That's it, dude. So I mean, that fight should have been stopped. So Max Griffin looked good. Michael Pereira, I mean, he went in there this team, but he got kind of tired though. But he did a backflip into a backflip into a mount. But that fight, he gassed out in the third though, but he won off a point. So I think he knew what he was doing in that fight. He knew he would go first, second hard, and then third round he just just move around in a circle. Like I said, the footwork win him the fight. His movement won him that fight. Tapora, yeah, when he just went in there and did his statement, he's like, man, I'm not playing with this guy on the ground. Hard trying to roll for knees and do all the thing he could do, and he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the ground and just finish him off. Dricus Duplius. He actually mentioned his name. Dricus Duplessis. Dricus Duplessis. Okay, Dricus Duplessis. He actually told Joe Rogan that, hey, my name is Dricus Duplessis. So he actually let people know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, Trevin Gaz was using good footwork, but then he got caught. He got caught with his hand down. He's trying to do a shell-up kind of defense, kind of like a Floyd Mayweather, but the thing about when you're doing defense like that, you got to move your feet. You can't drop your hand and sit there in front of the guy. The only way that works is if you're going to move your head off center line or you're going to move your feet. He didn't move his head or his feet. So he's right in range. Hopefully everything is okay with him, I don't like to see anybody get hurt, man, and get damaged. So hopefully, Conor McGregor is fine and Gaz is okay. Anybody that got hurt in this fight took a lot of damage. Hopefully this Chris guy is okay, man. But, man, the Chris guy, the thing is that he went through a lot of rounds taking damage. Remember, it's the accumulation, Sometimes they say it's better you get knocked out in the first or you get submitted. Is accumulation of the rounds going by, like in boxing. You got 10, 12 rounds, keep going, and you keep taking a bunch of hits for round after round. That's where the damage happen. Usually don't really happen on if a guy get knocked out real quick, which, it can, because it all depends on the person too. But the accumulation of damage, man, that take life off of you, man. Jessica Ayamayo. Yeah, it was a decent fight. He went in there and did that thing. Akhmadov and Brad Tarbers. Brad Tarbers looked good in there, man. He went in there and do his thing. He's showing that he's actually progressing and not declining in the fight. And Zagles, man, I feel a little bit for Rivera there. It seemed like the kid, like he really wants to be a fighter. I guess not easy to be a fighter, and it's just not working out for him, man. It's not working out, man. So most likely UFC gonna cut him. It is what it is. The UFC, it's a business, man, and they want guys that are gonna go in there and win. They also like guys who can take a beating, because then it's entertaining if the guy can take a beating like this Chris guy here. They probably gave him a bonus. If he can stay in there and then Sean O'Malley pick him apart for like freaking almost 3 damn rounds, it's gonna look like a good fight. But the problem is that you have one guy beating up another guy, and the other guy's not really doing anything. So it's not really fair, right? And then the guy that's getting beaten up, most likely may have brain damage. So that's it, guys. The confident picks came in. My card results on my YouTube went 10-2, did pretty awesome, and the Patreon on the face-off I went 9-3. Basically, the Arena Aldana, it happens. She didn't miss. She missed weight, so I was like, But obviously, she has a better boxing, man. And Yana does have some kind of movement, but she don't have that boxing like what Arena Aldana have. Aldana is more technical with the hands, and you could see it, man. She's skilled. She's more skilled. Yana is more just want to hold against the cage, may throw some kicks, but when it's time to box, she will shell up. And Stephen Thompson, man, it happens, man. Gilbert Burns went in there with a game plan to take him down right at the end of the rounds and kind of hold him against the cage, put that pressure on him, and act like he's going to strike with him. But then when the moment is right, he take him down. That was his game plan. He kind of outsmart him in a way. It was a good game plan, man. You know what I'm saying? Kind of hustle him. He basically out-hustled Thompson and pull off the win. Thompson against Usman. If he has a problem with Burns, she's not going to beat Usman. Usman takedown is more elusive. And if he can't stop Burns, from taking him down, man, then there's no way he's going to stop Usman. So it is what it is, man. I mean, hats off to all these guys. Enough respect to all these guys out there. It's not a easy sport to go into. It's a damn dangerous sport. These guys put their health on the line. Your health is your wealth. And I mean, hats off to all of them, man. And enough respect. All love, even to the ones who act like an asshole and then karma happened to them. You get your karma. That's how it goes. That's life. That's energy, guys. Also, guys, sign up to my Wayne Gitchie Patreon account too, which I'm going to drop a lot of information on my Patreon account about energy, about breathing exercises, just about the world, the earth that we're living on, right? Or the earth you think you're living on. And I'm going to talk a bit about, a little bit about the politics in the world and who's trying to control the world and and things like that. Just sign up to my Patreon account and I go deeply into it. I'm a Wayne Gitchie, which I'll drop the link down below. Also my Patreon account for my true analysis work here. You can sign up for that one too. All love, guys. We're gonna go on to the next UFC there, which is gonna be actually a Bellator is coming up too. Bellator 262, which I'm gonna work on that one too. I'm gonna drop that on my YouTube and I'm going to drop it to my Patreon, and also I'm going to work on the UFC fight night there, alright, which is that one's going to be MACAPA versus Morris, alright, so I'm going to work on those two events, and Bellator is Vasquez versus Cale Holtz, alright, so yeah, guys, so enough respect out to everybody, one love, keep on kicking, guys, and